It's 2 videos. Or is it an origin story? Oh, it's an origin story. Okay, I thought it was an animated short.
For generations, my family has served and protected our city
Check this
by
out.
following traditional paths. My grandmother devoted herself to the fox spirit, who taught her the ancient way of healing. Whereas my mother has chosen the path of the blade, passing down time-honored skills through training and discipline. I knew each of them wanted me to follow her path, but I couldn't choose. Training quiets my mind and opens me to the fox spirit's guidance. And my bond with her lets me protect those who can't fight for themselves. They both made me feel whole, and they both felt like home. For generations, my family has served and protected our city by following traditional paths. Me? I made my own.
Oh shit, that's lit. Damn, that's fucking lit. Okay, I'll fuck with that. What is this? Oh, it's just her fucking vibing out. All right, so we have the Kiriko dev update. Let's watch this too and react to this as well. All right, let's check it out. See what they have to say. This is the new Overwatch team.
My name is Q-Fang, and I'm the lead character concept artist on Overwatch 2.
Hi everyone, my name is Kyung-Seo Min, and I am an associate narrative designer on Overwatch 2. And today, we are here to talk about Kiriko, the newest support hero joining our roster. Kiriko grew up in Kanezaka, and she was raised by her mother and grandmother. Her family has ancestral ties to the Kanezaka shrine, which worships the fox spirit. Her grandmother taught Kiriko the responsibilities of taking care of the shrine, the importance of traditions, rituals, and community. Her mother, on the other hand, is a fierce ninja and believed in taking action, standing up for yourself, and fighting for what's right. We can see in Kiriko that she bridges these 2 sensibilities together, the traditional and the modern, the fighting and the healing. Kiriko is a strong, badass woman. She will do anything to protect her family and her community, even if that means she has to bend a few rules. She's a trickster, like the fox spirit.
Kiriko grew up alongside Hanzo and Genji. Her mother actually trained the Shimadas, and she was especially close to Genji, since they both kind of on the mischievous kind of side.
Yeah, like he would take her to the arcade in Hanamura, and they're definitely up to no good in and out of the Shimada castle.
Carried on the wind.
Kiriko witnessed the fall of the Shimadas when she was young. The assassination of the Shimada clan head left a power vacuum within the community. A rival clan, the Hashimoto, took advantage of that and took over. They terrorized the community, and Kiriko saw all these injustices firsthand, and they took her father as hostage. To stop them, she joined a ragtag group of young women and men called the Yokai.
That's
Coming
lit.
from all walks of life, they fight the Hashimoto and protect community members. They're a small group, but with Kiriko's cunning personality, they show that the youth
Dude,
of
I really
Kanezaka
hope
should
they
not be
explore these other groups, like Null Sector, like all this
really
stuff,
with
man.
5v5 in mind.
Los Muertos
she's
in
high
Mexico.
mobility, she's a single target hybrid healer. She is fast. She can get to your little skirmishes, which happens a lot more often in 5v5 now, so she's super effective.
Yeah, and she's very much like another battle healer. You know, she's in the action, jumps in and out, not the kind of sit back and heal type of hero.
Shouldn't have put your head there.
Yeah, I think a lot of experienced players will have fun with her, and I think a lot of DPS players will love her.
Underestimated me, nah?
From day one, really, her
We'll see about that.
fox was there in the design. It felt right. It fit the character visually, and the fox was based on the Japanese Inari, which is the fox spirit, and it's a guardian protector kind of spirit. In Japanese folklore, foxes are also known to represent cunning and smart, which matches Kiriko's personality as well.
Now I'm having fun.
Kiriko actually started as an ecology boss unit that was part of the ninja ecology. her hairband and bandana kind of comes from classic depictions of ninjas in pop culture. And it's got a symbol on the top. It's basically the kanji for kitsune, for fox, turned diagonally, which is really cool. The original design had a giant shuriken with ball bearings in it, inspired by fidget spinners at the time. But we tried to maintain that as she became a support hero. However, learning from past mistakes when we tried to force a design and a concept together, we ended up just kind of retooling her to look more like a support hero.
Some of the old, some of the new.
So Kiriko's primary ability is the healing Ofuda. Ofudas are these paper talismans believed to be imbued with powers. When you do this ability, you see these Ofuda paper slips firing into, and they home in on allies. They're a little slow, but you can use your ally teleport ability to offset that, or you can use the slowness in your advantage, and you can preemptively shoot them if you foresee that a teammate will need healing.
Her secondary fire is she throws out a kunai. And these are actually very fast in contrast to the Ofuda. There's low overall damage, but it crits for a ton of damage, right? So very, very powerful in the hands of an accurate player. And the idea here was to split her abilities thematically, having half of her abilities kind of be supportive with, the healing Ofuda, and the other half is more about the offense and damage with the kunai. And this honors the kind of narrative elements of her mother and grandmother at the same time.
Also, the first iteration of Genji had the kunai, so the team's really happy that we're bringing it back.
Come on, Shimada.
One of her abilities is the ally teleport. She can teleport directly to an ally. She can even teleport through walls. And the distance is pretty generous, so you can travel across maps pretty far and pretty quickly. This makes her a great support because she can get to her teammates quickly and just provide the healing power that the team needs. Her second ability is called the Protection Suzu. Suzu are a small bell, and Kiriko throws them out, and it makes allies invulnerable briefly, and they also cleanse debuffs. This is great to combo with her teleport ability to quickly get in there and support a teammate. You can also throw it down on yourself if you're in a sticky situation, and it kind of saves your hair. But it does have a long cooldown, so it requires good judgment and timing.
Sounds like a really good counter to Sleep Dart.
Yes, and Junker Queen's anti-heal.
私が守る.
Her passive ability is the wall climb. She can scale walls like Genji and Hanzo.
I'll have a few things to say.
Because they train together, we just felt it was appropriate.
So finally, Kiriko's ultimate is called the Kitsune Rush. It's a huge buff that gives you a ton of movement speed, attack speed, reload speed, and also cooldown reduction on your abilities on all allies affected.
Dude, I do not understand.
Powerful,
Hold on, I'll tell you this.
Great for just kind of initiating an attack on an objective. And actually, originally it was just going to be the Fox, but found it kind of hard to track where the Fox was going. So the Torii gates were more done out of just, give you kind of
that's
target
cool.
and
I
seeing
think
where the
that's
Fox is
visually
going.
really cool.
But it just ended up also looking just absolutely beautiful.
Kiriko is voiced by Sally Amaki. Sally did an amazing job bringing a cool girl energy to Kiriko. Her voice is cool and wry, and she has a wicked sense of humor that is dry as a desert. She really sounds like the lone wolf, cool girl that everyone at school respects. And I'm really looking forward to looking at the players' response at all of her digs, because she will take a dig at anyone. And especially the Genji and Hanzo conversations. Keep an ear out for those, because there's a lot of inside jokes, history, and humor there. And that about wraps it up for Kiriko. We can't wait for all of you to get a chance to play her. See you next time.
Can't change the world by following all the rules.
All right. Let's unpack this. All right. Let's unpack this. First of all,
Following all the rules.
First of all, let's just talk about how good everything when it comes to putting together a project at Blizzard, dude. Like visually, the visuals, like I don't even think it's a competition. These guys are the best in the world. Like this is it is incredible how without fail, time and time again in this game, the people behind the animation, the character designs, the thought process into how are we going to bring this fictional character to life and visually represent things well. Like, for example, how he's talking about the fox, like how, it was just originally a fox, but we decided to put the gates here, which is a big deal in Japan, and add that visual. Like, the way that the creative people think at Blizzard is just just truly out of this world fantastic. Like, it's just, dude, it is really just absolutely, it is history changing. Like, these guys are the best, and it's not even a discussion. It is fucking incredible. I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. It is fucking incredible. The fact that they're not nominated for awards every year is incredible. Like these guys, like it blows my mind. It really does blow my mind. Like, and this is the big reason why I think Overwatch will always have a fan base, because the art and design behind the game is just so goddamn good that no one, even in 6 years, no one has held a candle to it. Like, these guys are decades ahead of the competition. Decades. Incredible. Really just the best of the best. Best of breed. Top tier company. Now, I'm going to put my streamer friends on blast for a second, right? I don't know what a lot of them were talking about and saying that Kiriko is not going to be really fucking good. When I look at this utility that the hero has, right? First of all, I think she's going to be great for the game. Let me just make that clear first. I think that Kiriko, while she will definitely need some tuning like every other hero does, I think that Kiriko will be good for the game, for sure. I'm glad they're making an aim-intensive support. I think that Kiriko is the first support that is the most in line with Ana since launch. This is the first support in 6 years that they have made that's closer to the core values of the game that made the game a fantastic game, right? This is wait, what chat? Can we stop the debates about fucking political shit in my chat? It doesn't fucking matter. So I really think that I can't look at that utility though and say that's going to be balanced. Like, my big concern is how much positioning does she actually have to worry about, right? And here's the thing though, if in 5v5, and this is where you kind of have to change your thought process, and I'm going to have to change as well, if the game is more brawly, then maybe more characters need these kind of TP-esque abilities, right? Because there isn't a second tank to peel. Maybe this is the right answer for supports, right? I'm unsure, I'm worried that it's not very hard to TP to one of your teammates. So I'm unsure how that's going to play out, but dude, I'm telling you, I have a feeling that all of my streamer friends, and I want you all to quote me on this one, who were at the Creator Summit. I obviously was not at the Creator Summit, so just full context, I have not played Kiriko. Just to be totally honest, I have not played Kiriko. I don't think that anybody can look at that level of utility on a character and say that that's not going to be incredibly strong. Now, I think in low ranks, you're definitely going to see people struggle with her because she's it seems like a hybrid between BAP and Zen, really. And I saw a lot of discussions too being like, Samito, you're just mad at Invuln. Like, it's just like Zarya bubbles. Like, get over it. And I'm like, well, okay, the fact that you're comparing it to Zarya is very funny because, first of all, the only abilities Zarya has on her kit are the bubbles, right? That is all of her utility, which is what makes it balanced. Like, you can break the bubble, there's still the counterplay, right? But she's not going to do anything else to you after bubbling. Kiriko, she's got the teleport. She's got the cleanse Invuln. She's got wall climb, right? She's got great headshot damage, and I'm not really sure how her healing is going to work. So I will say I am overall optimistic on this hero. I really am. I think for the first time since season 2 of Overwatch, 34 seasons, even season 1 was Ana. Since season 1, we are starting to see a turn away from the, for lack of a better word, brainless cheese cornball supports with Moira, Brig. Don't even get me started on Brig. I'm not going to talk about it in this video. And BAP, which was a little bit better than those two, but Immortality Field is clearly a cornball ability. I think it's been pretty well established that Immo is a cornball ability, and I know her Invuln will not be anywhere near as broken or annoying as Invuln from Immo, to be clear, which is good. But the reason why I'm really optimistic about this, it seems like for the first time in 6 years, they're taking this game back to the healthy balance between abilities, mechanics, positioning, and all of those skill factors, right? Because Immo, let's be real, it doesn't take skill to use Immortality Field. I'll go watch Johnny play ball in gold, and he'll pile drive in Minefield, and the BAP will look down and use Immortality Field, and I'll hear Johnny screaming, I just got Goodman! Raging, right? Like, it's obviously going to be very, very different. So, you know what? I'm actually really excited about this, guys. I think that it's a really good sign that they're starting to take heroes this direction. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of rumors going around about whether or not Jeff Goodman is still at the Overwatch team. I obviously have no inside info on this. I don't know, right? But this is starting to look like a new direction for Overwatch that it sorely, sorely needs after 4+ years of just, frankly, I don't think there's any beating around the bush. I think if you make a general consensus on it, the general consensus in the gaming community will be that the hero design was just bad for many, many years with Overwatch. And I think that was a big turnoff for many people in the game. I think if they keep designing characters like this, Overwatch's future is forward-looking, and I'm excited to see them bring back. And I'm not saying this is a big comment I always see whenever I say stuff like this, and it really irritates me because it's just people jumping to conclusions and twisting my words, right? They always say, well, Samito, you just want the game to be like Call of Duty with all the mechanics and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't want it to be like Call of Duty. What makes Overwatch so beautiful is that it was nothing like any other traditional shooter that came out. But there was a healthy balance between ability management and how your abilities function, as well as mechanics. But what you've seen happen is, especially with the DLC heroes, things like Double Shield meta, things like Goats meta, things like BAP Immo, right? Or Brig Zen, you see a lot of the heroes like mechanics and just overall core shooter mechanics, like traditional shooter, has just been filtered out of Overwatch more and more and more. Like, for example, if you hit 2 headshots on McCree or Cassidy and the BAT puts down drone, like, the mechanics just aren't valuable because you've just forced the drone. The drone overpowers the mechanics. The way Brig AoE heals the whole team with Inspire, just healing everyone for you at 4 to 8 times the volume of the spear as Lucio while just tossing a pack, right? Like, that just overwhelms mechanics. It's no secret. Like, I feel like everyone can agree on this. Mechanics in Overwatch have become less and less valuable in terms of winning fights and like how impactful good mechanics are over time. It's not to say that they were useless, but abilities have just become stronger and stronger and stronger across the board on all heroes, right? Rather than the player utilizing their mechanics to get value from their abilities, which is what made Overwatch so special, right? For example, like Junkrat Conk Mine, right? It's not like a traditional shooter mechanic. You do need to have it read the projectile arc. It's not going to one-shot somebody, but like that is a player using mechanics to get value from the ability, if that makes sense, guys, right? Storm Arrow, right? It's an ability, but in order for it to be worth anything, you have to hit your shot. And I'm not saying Storm Arrow's fine or broken or underpowered or anything. I'm just saying, like, as an example, that's what happens, right? So what's optimistic about Kiriko is even with the immortality and the invulnerability, which I think might be too strong, you're seeing them say, hey, if you want to do this, you have to time it right, right? And I'm not saying it should be in the game. I think ML7 or Flat Set or healing is negligible though, at best, though. But there's going to be 2 supports on the field. So imagine her with BAP, right? Again, like, as hero designers, you have to be able to understand the big picture of the game and how things work. For example, with this, the cleanse effect was clearly targeted at Junker Queen, right? It was very clear that, like, hey, people have been asking for a cleanse for a long time. We just put Junker Queen in the game. Let's add a hero that has a cleanse effect. Another reason why I think she's going to be so good. If Queen is meta in Al right now, and this hero answers Queen, she's going to, like, the entire meta is going to revolve around Kiriko. Because it's all about, like, she is forcing Queen out. If you don't pick her, they'll pick Queen and roll you, right? So again, it's a bit of cat and mouse, rock, paper, scissors. But I will say, I am very, very happy, very, very happy with the direction that Blizzard appears to be taking with their previous 3 characters, Sojourn, Junker Queen, and now Kiriko. This was the big one, right? Because the supports in this game are infamously broken. And it really, really sucks. And I'll be honest, like, I know support players get a lot of hate. But if we're being honest here, support players have gotten the short end of the stick from Blizzard for years. Like, there has been no role screwed over more than supports. Well, I guess maybe you could argue DPS because of goats meta and stuff like that. In terms of what I mean by screwed over here, I don't mean viability. I mean like in terms of the actual content that you got, right? Like DPS obviously became the weakest role over time because support and tank abilities got so strong, and they overwhelmed the mechanics as time went on. But look at the heroes and the lack of content support has had.
Greetings.
Right? There have been 4 support heroes added to the game since launch, since 2016. It is 2022, right? Ana was the only like hero that wasn't cheese, right? You had Ana, then you had Moira, then you had Brig, and then you had BAP, which does require mechanics, but Immortality Field is kind of cheese, right? And now finally, you're getting a really fast-paced, mobile fragger utility hero with Kiriko that I feel like this is the first time since Ana that support players have been done justice. Where if you want to play a shooter, right? A shooter game, I'm not saying traditional shooter, but a game where your mechanics are valuable and cooldowns are valuable. Like Kiriko is the full Overwatch package. Like this is what Overwatch was meant to be, Kiriko, right? And she'll need balancing, she'll need some fundamental adjustments, yes. But this is the kind of character that made Overwatch Game of the Year shooter. This is the kind of character that revolutionized the shooter industry, right? This is what we need more of. And well, I think she's going to be strong. If I had to put money on it, I would say she's going to be strong. The streamers, here's the thing about streamers chat, and like, listen, I love my colleagues, and this is not a shot at them, but they don't know what they're talking about. Unless they have played professional play or semi-pro play, they don't know what they're talking about because they don't understand just how big the gap is between your average player and the Overwatch League players and the contenders players. Like the difference in teamwork and synergy and ability and the level of play that goes to is just, it's like the ranked environment of Overwatch has never shown people that true potential. And when I see a character that has this much utility and I know how these players can synergize, there's no way she'll be bad. Like they might have to tweak her in either direction. I'm not sure, but there's no way this character comes out and it's just like, well, she's fucking dog shit. She's never going to get picked. Like, I think there absolutely will be times where she's going to get plagued. She might need tweaks. We're not sure yet, but like, dude, that teleport, as well as the invuln, as well as the DPS output, put like some of the best support players in the league on this shit, dude. They're going to frag out. No shot. Put your Zen on this and see what happens, right? Put Violet on this. Like, dude, like a 2-shot crit? Are you kidding me? This kid's going to go crazy. So she's going to be really fun to watch. This is the kind of hero that reminds me of the original game, and I'm happy to see it, minus the invuln. I think the invuln might be broken. They might need to look to change that. Either way, maybe reduce damage instead, right? But I'm very happy with this from the design to everything. Like this is a statement that the Blizzard team needs to make, especially if they have a new hero design team. These guys need to come out swinging. They need to take this game back closer. I'm not saying make it a traditional shooter. I'm not saying make it Call of Duty, but they need to make abilities and value come from mechanical skill. Mechanical skill needs to have a part in it. I'm not saying you have to be button mashing like you're playing Osu, but you cannot make another Brig. As allegedly they said. Allegedly they've been out in panels or some shit responding to interviewers saying something like, yeah, Brig was a mistake. You know, they've said that in the past. They can never do Brig again. I don't even know if they can do Moira again, to be honest. Because this is the game's rep. The reason why Overwatch really started to fall off is they lost touch with the shooter side of the gaming industry by taking things too much towards the ability. So I'm happy with this. Great job to Blizzard. She's going to need tuning. I'm not big on the invuln, but that's the only thing I'm not big on, man. I think, and her ult too. Let's talk about her ult, dude. Her ult, it's not speed. Let's be clear. Her ult increases damage. Like damage per second for everybody and cooldowns. It's not a speed boost. It is it literally speeds up the entire game, including your damage, including your cooldowns. Maybe you build ult faster. No, you will build ult faster. You will build ult faster because you're doing more damage. That's not going to be bad. Put that in the pros' hands. Are you kidding me? That's going to be broken. Not broken. That's going to be really strong. Like, dude, if you tell pro players, hey, you use this down this massive lane and you're going to be able to output 50% more of everything, that is really strong. I'm not sure if it's 50%, but it's going to be a big number. I don't see this hero being bad, and I really hope. I think it would be hilarious if all my streamer friends are like, she's not going to be that good, and then the pros come out and she's hard meta, and I'm just like, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? I don't miss on this shit often. I think this hero is going to be good. Now, I haven't seen how she heals, but if you could play her alongside Bap after Bap just got his damage buff in Overwatch 2 and double MO with her damage, good luck. So yeah, good hero. Well done, Blizzard.